Hi everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I am from Ohio, and I'm here to bring you my Simply Saturday video, which I hope that you like it. I'm going to do something different. I am doing this video when I haven't made this card before. But it's simple, right? Because it's Simply Saturday. So it's a simple card. And in fact, I just saw a demonstrator friend of mine. She's from Canada. Her name is Diane Evans. She just made this card and I loved it so much. I thought, I'm going to duplicate that for my Simply Saturday. So thanks, Diane. I hope you don't care, which I don't think she is. She's very willing to share everything. So anyway, I'm going to show it. I'm going to do it in a couple colors. So, but before I do that, I'm going to go make sure my computer sound is off. There we go. Now it's off. I didn't hear the feedback from it, but I was wanting to make sure that it doesn't come on. So anyway, I don't have a picture of this card to show you because we are going to do it from scratch. So what we're going to use, I'm going to go ahead and turn this down. Remember, we got new online exclusives, and I do think this is an online exclusive. Yeah. So it's brand new. I haven't used it yet. It's called Prairie Grass. So I'm going to turn the camera down. But anyway, the online exclusives, what I was going to say, are up, and there's some really pretty ones. So if you haven't seen them, you might want to go and look at them. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be that demonstrator to help you. And if you'd like to join a team or just be a hobbyist demonstrator, just look me up because my email and that's down there. I would love to have you. I don't mind that you want to be a hobbyist, and that I just like for you to be on my team and be able to work with you and share some stuff and share ideas and help you grow along with stamping. Okay, so let me turn the camera down. Turn it down, and I'm going to fix my monitor so that I'm going to be able to see this video at the same time, so I can make sure that I try to stay in focus. So I'm going to bring this down some, way down. We are going to start with a card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then we are going to bring in the Everyday Arches dies, which are these right here, and I use the third one from the largest one. I used this one right here, and I took a piece of cardstock that's 5.5 by 4 1/4, and I laid this on here, and I actually cut this out, and this is what it gave me. We're going to be using this. I cut 2 of them, so I actually have 2 arches that I could use for another project. So I'm going to set those somewhere where I won't get them all dirty. I'll set one of my masks up there because I made 2 of them just in case I need another one for something. And what we're going to do with this is, let's put these out of our way. We're also going to use the Prairie Grass, and this is this stamp set. We're going to use this big guy right here, okay? Stampin' Up! Doesn't have a block that fits him anymore, which I find it odd that they made the stamp and don't have the block, but you know, you can do a lot of things with it, and when I get it out, I'll show you what you can do with it. I'm going to use my Stamparatus, but if you have a Misty or something like that, which is a stamp positioner, you can use that to stamp with. And I'm going to use the Stamparatus. It's what Stampin' Up! Used to sell, and we don't sell it anymore, but I have it, and I'm using it because I really love it. So let me set these to the side. We won't need those. We don't even need this one. I was going to just show you there was the third one from the largest. And we are going to get our stamp out. See how big he is? He's a big guy. But what I was telling you that you could do when you got ready to stamp this, like to stamp it on this piece of paper, you can actually lay it down on your something that'll hold it, ink it up, and then put this on here where it goes and rub it, and then you could have your image that way. But that's not what I'm doing today. I'm going to use my Stamparatus. So let me bring that in and we'll get that set up. I didn't set it up yet. I'm just going to do this whole card with you guys. That's just a piece of scrap that I keep in there to put my stamps on. So let's bring this in. This is my card. And I usually line them up about right here, which is the second. It's actually the third square over. I use this second dark line. I come into the first dark line down here, and that's where I tend to put my stamp. My stamp is going to go right here, I hope. This is where I'm putting it for right now, okay? Because my idea is this is going to go right here. So that's about right. That's where I want it, okay? So let me go ahead and get that positioned up. I just rub on it. And there it is. It's all ready for me to go when the time comes. I'm going to set this in underneath of it. It holds it up. And you see my cord from my, because I had to plug my phone in. And it was going dead, which is not a good thing. So what I'm going to do before, I just want to show you where that would be lined up. And so I always put it in the same place, so I'm good with that. Let's go ahead and move this. I don't want to get ink all over it. So what I'm going to do is bring my card in. I'm going to bring in a scrap of paper. And to do this, because I want everything to be down, I'm going to take some of my Post-it note tape. And I'm just going to tear this one in half, because what I want to do is just put a piece here to hold this down and a piece here. Just want to hold that down on my table. Then I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to take this piece right here, and we don't want this right here, so I'm going to cut that off. Just cut it up even with the what's already there. And I want that one cut just a little bit more. And that one looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up on my card so that it fits just like that. I'm going to put my card straight. I need to get a piece of this out. So let's make sure we've got it straight. On there, it's not straight. There we go. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to tear this. And I'm going to put a piece right here to hold that down. And I'm going to put a piece on each side here, just to hold all that down, okay? Trying to make sure that I know my card's not going to shift in under that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take cloud cover, because if you want a real subtle color that kind of looks like sky and different things like that. Whoops, I just hit the camera. Then that's a good blue to go to. So try to find one that might be a little bit darker. Make sure there's nothing in that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up my blending brush, and I'm just going to blend. And I'm going to want it kind of dark. Not real dark, but I kind of want it splotchy looking. Not completely filled in, if you get what I mean. Whoops, as I Go to put it in a thing of water, that would not be good. So anyway, I thought, I need to get my sample made. And I thought, nah, let's just all make this card together today. It's hard to tell with these lighter colors how dark you are getting that. But I want to make sure I get around my edges. Let's do it one more time maybe. Go around in a different circular motion here. See if that makes a difference. I want my center just a little bit darker. And I guess because I'm not starting in the center, I did want to be darker. There we go. I think I have it. Let's pull that off and see what we have. I love this Post-it note tape. I think it's really nice to use. So there's my arch on my card. It's not quite centered, but it's good enough. It is good enough. So I'm going to leave my piece of paper here because, no I'm not, I don't need it, right? Duh. Let's pull that up just for a minute. And let's bring this in, because now we're going to stamp it. So let me put my card base. Remember how I told you I come 2 over to that dark line there and then 1 down, and I place this. So let's place this and make sure I have that stamp in the right place before I stamp. I'm going to move it up just a hair because it's easier to move this up than to take that stamp off of there. Because I want that stamp not to stamp above that line. I want it to stamp, there we go, right at the line. So there we go. Let's see how we do here. Put that down there a little bit more, put that up there a little bit more. We're going to use Secret C. Yeah, we are. And I like, let me pull this down so you can see. Or let me put the camera up so you can see. That'd probably be easier for me. There we go. You should be able to see the stamp now. So I can move. There we go. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this up. And I'm doing it lightly, but keeping going over it because I don't want all of this ink over here. I don't want this to be messy, okay? Or try not to make it be messy, if that can be the case. So I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to stamp it. And you all know I have my Joni tools, what I call it. My friend Joan, her husband made this, and I love it because it fits in the palm of your hand really well. And let's see if we're going to have to stamp this again. It looked like it had good coverage, and that's what you want on your stamp. Good coverage, but not messy. Let's see if we got that. I think I want it just a little bit darker. And the one thing good about using a stamp positioner like this, or the stamp around, or the Misty tool, you can ink it up again. And then you can bring it down, and I'm moving that up so that you can, and then I can just rub it again and make that a little bit darker. Isn't that pretty? That is called prairie grass. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off of here. I am going to get out my chamois, and rather than take that ink off, because I told you I wanted to make another one, I'm going to do one in pinks, and we're going to see how it works, how it looks in pink. I just thought that might be something different. So I just wanted to clean that really good. And when I do that, that's why I have this scrap piece. I can just, I'm going to turn that over because my other piece is on there. And I can put that down and it'll dry. So let's move that out of the way a minute. We'll bring in my scrap piece again. Move everything out of the way. Put this down. We're going to put a sentiment on here, and the sentiments that's in here is, sometimes life is just hard. You're not alone. I'm here for you. Sending the healing power of love. So very sorry, and my shoulder is yours. Like, you're not alone. I'm here for you. My shoulder is yours. Sometimes life is just hard. So very sorry. You know. So this one is the one that I like this saying better, and I do this. I just have to say that. So I am going to use it. Might as well. Let me get me a block. You want to hear something I found out too from another demonstrator? I clean my blocks. And you know how she cleaned her blocks? With hand sanitizer. Put a little bit of hand sanitizer on it. It comes off like a gem. I'm telling you, I was impressed. So I was so impressed I sat and cleaned every block that I had. I'm going to sit that there, see if I can get it a little straighter. And I'm going to come in with my Secret C again. This is such a pretty color when you don't want to use black. It's got that dark, dark navy look to it. And there again, I'm trying not to get too juicy. I'm going to stamp that up here and just make sure that it looked like it was good, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so let's stamp that. Do I want it here or here? I have more room right here, so let's do it right there. So far, so pretty, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, I'm going to leave that on that block in case I use it again. I'm going to bring in this block, and I'm just going to tap it here and get me some ink. I'm going to get me a paper towel because I'm the messy stamper. Maybe that should be my new name, Messy Stamper. Anyway, I'm going to get this really wet, and I'm going to puddle that water. And then what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to move this a minute to show you. Maybe if I get some more on there, it'll work. I actually like to hit it against something else, so let's take this. Geez, maybe I need more water. Maybe I didn't have enough water. Looks like I had. It's not going to work. There it goes. Just want to get that ink and water in there and make that really petally. Petally, is that a word? There we go. That's what I want. I want this to be petally. Remember that word, petally. See how petally that is? That's what we want. We like petally. I like to make new words. Okay, now here we go. Petally. And clean my brush. And I'll hold my card up for you here in just 1 second. I got a lot of ink in from my puddly thing. Let me close this. Well, nope, I'm gonna leave it open. I'm gonna do one more thing. One more thing here in a minute. I have ink all over my table. Way to go, Rita. Way to go. Told you I was messy. Let's clean some of this up before I really make a mess. Let's clean my puddly stamp. Because my arm would probably go in that. Might have to use my hand sanitizer again, right? Okay, so what I was going to do is I was going to bring in this little stamp right here because it's the smallest of the two that's left. I don't want anything real big. And I want another block. I'm going to put that right there. And let's open this. I don't want to open that on that, but I want this. Oh, what am I supposed to do? Get a paper towel. Get a paper towel. Hurry, hurry. I want to open this card, and I don't want to open it on anything wet because I just want this side right here. So what I want to do is I'm going to ink that, and I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to stamp it right here. And then I'm going to stamp off. There we go. There we go. That's how you do that. What do you think? So let's do, if you want to stay with me, I'm going to stay on here and I'm going to do a second color. But first I'm going to get this off of my here and clean up my terrible mess. Ugh. I'm messy. And let me make sure that everything's dry here before I lay anything else on it. Okay, there's the card. I am going to make sure that this is folded really good. Look at the back of it. See how it's, I may just splatter the back a little bit since I have those splatter marks there because of laying it down on here. That's what you don't do. But anyway, there's the card. What do you think? Makes a nice, easy card. It's only one layer. And you can add a little bit of embellishments to it if you want to. We're going to leave this one without embellishments, and I might add embellishments to the next one. We'll do it really quick. Let's take and set this one out of the way. And then let's do the next one. So I'm going to bring in a piece of cardstock. And I'm going to take this paper. And I'm going to turn it over. I'm stamping popcorn guys. Look at it. It's got popcorn guys on it. So anyway, I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it. There we go. And this will be the front of the other card. And I have, let's set that there. I'm going to bring this in because this has my template on it. Yep, it does. So, let's just bring this in. Take my template off of there. And we're going to use the same template. It's not going to hurt. What I can do is turn it over. So let me take this off of here. But actually, I don't think I'm going to turn it over. Since I'm using them so close together, I'm going to cut the edges off of this one. Since I already have two cut, I can just cut this. There we go. Let's bring my card in. I'm going to lay that down. Let's put this on here. And there again, I'm going to tape it. There we go. We got that taped down. So now what we're going to bring in is petal pink. So I will get me a pink brush. And we will start putting our petal pink on here. Okay, I think we're done. I'll just lay that up there out of the way. Close this for a second and we'll bring in our stamp apparatus back in. We have our stamp cleaned. So all I have to do, I need to close that so I can use it again. I will put my card back down in the same spot that we did. I'll move it up just a hair like I did the last one. Whoops. This is what you don't want to do because these things can break when they stick together. They're hard. So I'm going to put this up about right here. Oh, I got ink right there on my card. Maybe my splatters will, when I splatter, will cover that up. There we go. So I'm bringing in Flirty Flamingo to do that grass. This is going to be a little bit different, but I wanted to see what it would look like different. Nothing wrong with that, is there? So let's bring this in. My Joni tool, she's right here. Okay, let's see what we have. Oh, I want my middle a little bit darker. There we go. That's pretty. Let's go ahead and clean that pad so that, and I find it just as easy to do this and clean with. There we go. That helps keep it a little clean. Put this little guy in here. Let that dry a minute. You can sit there and dry. While I have this out, I'm going to do the inside of my card. Right here. And I'm going to do exactly what I did before. I'm going to stamp Oh, I didn't mean to do that, so now I'm going to stamp off. And stamp it again. And that put the inside. Now I don't have to worry about that being in all the sprinkly stuff. There we go. Now what we're going to do, we're going to do the exact same thing. Let me put some of this on a block. Close it up. I'm going to go ahead and close this really, really good. It's a little bit of glue on there. Get that off with my glue eraser. Okay. See that little bit of ink is right up there, but I think that'll be okay. So let's do this. Let's mix this really good. Let me do a trial run real quick. And that's how I got my paper all messy. So let's get another piece of paper. I had a whole bunch of, I cut up a whole bunch of scrap paper. There we go. We'll just lay that right over that. Like, I'm going to do it this way because that's how I had that. There it is. Put this over here. Pick this up. Wet it again in my pedally water. I want to get up there in that corner by that mark. And there we go. What do you think? Can you see it? I'll bring that down closer so you can. Let me get that ink out of there. And set my block like that. I'll clean it in a minute. Move everything out of the way that I don't want ink on. Okay, I did not stamp that, but I think I will right now. I'll do the flirty, I like the flirty flamingo with the petal pink. That looks really pretty. So just ink that up. And actually, I'll leave it on there. So I'm going to bring it right here. And there we go. These are nice cards. You know, I talk about that eradicating loneliness, which I'm having at my church next week. If you live close and you would like to come, you can text me or email me or tell me in the comments that you would like to come. The minimum is 3 cards for $10. Bring an address, name and address with you to address an envelope, and I will mail your card to you for somebody that you think needs to have a smile put on their face. And I would be happy to mail those cards for you. And the cards came out of card kits that my friend and I took apart. And there's 43 different cards to choose from. 43 different little designs. 17 different card kits I think we took apart. So there's a lot of nice stuff there too. I didn't realize how nice some of those kits were that I didn't do. But they're apart now for everybody else to do. And if you would like to come to that, please let me know, because I would be more than happy for you to come. We have like probably 12 people coming right now, so it'll be a good time. So anyway, let me get our cards. Let's get all the junk out of the way. This is kind of a messy card, but it's kind of a worth it card. Let me get my blue one back out. There's the blue, and here's the pink. So, more of a manly card. You can put a happy birthday or whatever on there. You know, more of a card for a woman, but both very, very pretty. And you can see the splatters now that they're drying. You can see how those look. And just depends on how you do your blending in here, on how dark you get your colors. And if you'll notice on this one, you can see light right through there, where this one is more heavy-handed and it's lighter down through here. So no two's going to turn out the same, but I hope you liked it. There will be a PDF out. I'm going to take pictures of it, and the PDFs will be there when you're watching this video. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you make some, you'll be sure to let me know. So everybody have a great day. Have a great weekend. Be creative when you can. And be blessed, okay? We'll see you next time. Bye.